community for many, many years. Outside of just working at General Motors, they're actively engaged in a lot of services. They both, husband and wife, run our Gopal Vidya classes, which is children between the ages of 6 and 10 every Sunday morning, as well as help with various activities that are related to the temple. So we welcome all of you, and I'm sure that we are going to hear the wisdom. Well, there's a radio program, Wisdom of Sages, very similar to that, because we have all become sages by reading pages of Shastras. So we're going to hear more about Bhakti Unleashed today from His Grace Gopal Chandra Prabhu. Let's welcome him by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome you all to our Sunday Feast program. Thank you, dear Ramajay Prabhu, for those kind words of introduction. Very grateful to you. Before I get started, I want to fall at the lotus feet of each one of you that have assembled here to seek your blessings. So whatever comes out of my mouth will be of some use to you, and it is aligned with the scriptures. So please give me your blessings. In today's class, if anything is going to be beneficial, if anything is going to be good for you, all the credit goes to the exalted Vaishnavas. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Kesav Swami Maharaj, His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, His Holiness Mahatma Prabhu, His Grace Amarendra Prabhu, and so many of these exalted Vaishnava devotees that have inspired me. If there is anything that's going to be wrong, it is only due to my fault, my ignorance, and lack of proper understanding of the Shastras. So please pardon me for that. Today is a very auspicious day, Diwali. Happy Diwali to all of you. Happy Diwali. Diwali, as we know, is a festival of lights. It signifies the victory of goodness over evil, knowledge over ignorance. In scriptures, it is given that Diwali is celebrated for two main reasons. When the Supreme Lord Sri Ram defeated the evil king Ravana and rescued his wife Mother Sita and returned to Ayodhya, the people were celebrating that joyous occasion by lighting diyas, by lighting lamps and doing fireworks. Also, when the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna came as himself 5,000 years back, he killed the demon Narakasura and rescued 16,000 women. So those two occasions are celebrated as Diwali. If you think about it, it is not only the external demons, right? Everybody, we all have demoniac tendencies. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mada, Matsarya, Moha. Lust, envy, anger, greed, illusion, pride. So if we take steps to overcome these negative qualities, these anarthas, and if we welcome the Supreme Lord, Sri Ram, Sri Krishna, Mother Sita, Srimati Radharani, into our hearts, into the Ayodhya of our hearts. Today it's like Lanka, at least I can speak for myself. My heart is like Lanka. When will it become Ayodhya? That day it is Diwali. So every moment can be celebrated as Diwali. Also, on this occasion of Diwali, the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna lifted the Govardhan hill, Giri Govardhan. Yesterday our dear Ramujay Prabhu spoke beautifully about the pastime of Krishna lifting the Govardhan hill. In Bhagavatam it says, Hantaya Madri Rabala Haridasa Varyo. Hantaya Madri Rabala Haridasa Varyo. This Govardhan is the topmost devotee of the Supreme Lord. Topmost devotee. Why? Because if you think of Yudhishthira Maharaj from Bhagavatam, Yudhishthira Maharaj would fall at the lotus feet of Krishna. And Krishna's friend Uddhava, he would hug Krishna. So he came up to the shoulder. Yudhishthira Maharaj came up to the feet. Uddhava came up to the shoulder. But where did Krishna place Govardhan? Above his head. So that is the position of Govardhan, the topmost devotee of the Supreme Lord. Also this month, what is this month? The month of Kartik. Does anybody know why this month is called as Kartik? Does anybody know? Who is it named after? Srimati Radharani. What is her name? Other name? Kartika Devi. That is why this month is called as Kartik. Very auspicious month. Even if you do one spiritual activity, you get the benefit 1,000 times more. That is the benefit of Kartik month. So today is a very auspicious day. We are celebrating Diwali. Govardhan Puja is tomorrow. And it is all happening in this month of Kartik. So today we are going to talk about Bhakti. How we can develop or cultivate that kind of Bhakti, following in the footsteps of Giri Govardhan, following in the footsteps of Mother Yashoda, how she bound Krishna, following the footsteps of the Ayodhya Vasis, how they welcomed Sri Ram from Lanka back to Ayodhya. So this Bhakti unleashed, what does unleashed mean? One of the meanings is unlocked. So how do we unlock the secrets of Bhakti? For those of you who are in IT, you must have seen or read books, Java Unleashed, Python Unleashed. Or if anybody is into cooking, the secrets of Indian cooking unleashed. The secrets of Italian cooking unleashed. So how do we today unlock the secrets of Bhakti? The Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, imagine he is waiting outside our door. We just have to let him in, let him come in. We have the secrets. We have the key to the Bhakti. We just have to open the door, take that key and open the door. That's what we are going to see today. I just want to share a story about the importance of this key. One time, there were three friends, Ramu, Somu and Komu. Just to remember, keep it easy. Ramu, Somu and Komu. So they were traveling and they go to a new city. And they want to go sightseeing. Obviously, when you're in a new place, you want to go around and look at the beautiful buildings and everything and experience the culture and the food and so forth. So these three friends, they go to the city and they book a hotel. They stay in the 90th floor of the hotel, 90th floor of the building. Now, there is a rule in this hotel. After 12 o'clock, after midnight, the elevators stop working. So they are all so excited to go out. In the evening, they leave the hotel and go to the city. They have a great time. They have late dinner. And by the time they come back, it was 1 o'clock. That's when they realized, oh, it's past midnight. The elevators don't work. So we have to climb up the stairs. So they discussed and decided, okay, to ease the burden of climbing, let us tell stories, share jokes with each other. So Ramu, he starts saying some jokes. So they climb up till the 30th floor. Then Somu, his turn, he says some jokes and then some happy stories he shares. So their mind is focused on the stories. They climb up till the 60th floor. How many floors are remaining? 30 more. So finally it is Komu's turn. He doesn't know any happy stories or jokes. So he says, I will share some sad stories. Everybody were like, oh, this is going to make us more depressed. But that's okay, at least it will keep us focused. So he starts saying some sad stories. They get to the 90th floor. And finally he says, now I am going to say the saddest story of all. I forgot the key, the room key in the cab. I forgot the room key in the cab. Now they have to come down. So likewise, in our life, we can go through our childhood, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, 60, 80, if we live till 90. But if we do not have the key to that ultimate destination, we have to come back. We have to take birth again and go through. How many of you want to go through learning ABC 1, 2, 3 in your kindergarten? Go through the high school exams, university exams, studying late hours. Who all wants to do that again? Nobody wants to, right? So today we are going to talk about the key to open the door of Bhakti. The Supreme Lord, we are going in this highway of life, driving so fast in our cars, which is our material body. Where do, in India, for people from India or even here, where do the beggars wait? Where do you see the beggars normally? The traffic light on the side of the road. Footpath. The Supreme Lord is waiting like a beggar. He says, Udara sarva yevaite. Udara, all of you exalted jivas, you are so dear to me. It doesn't matter whether you come to me for devotion, with mixed devotion or with no devotion, for material benefits, that's fine. You're all magnanimous. You are charitable. The Lord is saying, you are charitable. Please give me devotion. The Lord is saying, the Lord is hungry for our devotion. So he is waiting like a beggar. Udara sarva yevaite. You are all magnanimous. That is the large-heartedness of Krishna. That is the large-heartedness. The Lord is waiting. Now it is our turn to open this door of Bhakti. That's what we are going to see today. Let us start with pranam prayers. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The sloka we are going to start with is from Bhagavad Gita, verse 6.47. Please repeat after me. Yoginam api sarvesham. Yoginam api sarvesham. Madgatena antaratmana. Madgatena antaratmana. Shraddhavan bhajate yo mam. Shraddhavan bhajate yo mam Same yukta tamo matah. Same yukta tamo matah. I will read the translation. And of all yogis, the one with great faith, who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service to me, he is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion. The word bhajate is very important here. Bhajate means renders transcendental loving service. This is the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. This is the last sloka in the 6th chapter. Up until now, the Lord has been talking about different yogas. Karma yoga, Jnana yoga, Ashtanga yoga, and finally Bhakti yoga. The Lord is saying, you can do all the yogas, but everything ultimately culminates in Bhakti yoga. You start with Karma yoga. You do your duty. You do not get attached to the results. You increase your knowledge of the Supreme Lord, and that becomes Jnana yoga. You develop detachment, more detachment. And then Ashtanga yoga or Dhyana yoga, you start meditating on the Paramatma or Super Soul, right? That is Dhyana yoga. You perform different asanas to control your mind, to control your breathing. You meditate on the Paramatma, Super Soul. That becomes Ashtanga yoga. Then finally, you understand the Lord is a personal Bhagavan. I can have loving relationships with the Lord. Once you understand the Bhagavan, the full form of the Lord, you perform Bhakti yoga. So you can go step by step, or you can go the elevator process. You can directly go to Bhakti yoga. You can directly go to Bhakti yoga. Queen Kunti, she says, what does she say? She says, just like how the Ganges river flows to the sea naturally, let my thoughts be spontaneously like that attracted to you, without any hindrance. Without any hindrance. Anya vilashita sunyam, jnana karmadi anavritam, anukulyena Krishna anusilanam, bhakti uttama. The uttama bhakti is something that is unmotivated and uninterrupted. So how do we attain that bhakti? So, I have an acronym here called Bhakti. So we are going to see one letter by one letter. The first 3 letters focus on how we want to have our relationship with the Supreme Lord, how it should be. The next 3 letters, KTI, focus on how we can deal with this material world, how we need to take care of our responsibilities, and also how we have to have a wonderful relationship with the living entities, the other living entities in this world. So starting with B, can you guess what B stands for? I will give a clue. It is connected to this month, this Kartik month. What is the key thing we should remember in this month of Kartik? What does the pastime represent? Or what are the 2 things it represents? The 2 fingers short, what do they represent? Our endeavor or love and Krishna's mercy. So, our love and Krishna's mercy, what is it? It is Bhakti bidirectional. B is for bidirectional. The Bhakti is bidirectional. So, sometimes people say, your choices determine your future. Is it true? Or sometimes people say, everything is Lord's mercy. So, who is in control? What is the role of our choice and what is the role of Krishna's mercy? Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, He says, my dear Lord, if you examine me, if you judge me, you will find no qualification. I don't have any hope. Only your mercy, that is the only hope I have. That's what Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. So hearing that, you may think, okay, maybe there is nothing we could do with our endeavor. It is all Lord's mercy. But if you think about it, that is not the full story. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he says, my dear Lord, unless we sincerely try to qualify ourselves, develop this qualification to make progress, there is no hope. It is impossible to make progress. Make advancement in bhakti. It is impossible. So how do we understand this? It is like a paradox, right? If you are qualified, then it doesn't mean it's mercy. Mercy means it should come to you without any qualification. So how do we understand this? The answer comes from this beautiful verse. Ye tamam prapadyante tams tataiva bhajamyaham. Mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvasaha. Ye tamam prapadyante. Krishna says, to the degree of your sincerity, to the degree of your efforts, to the degree of your attitude, to the degree of your devotion, I reciprocate accordingly. But the beauty here is, Krishna says, if you take one step, I will take 10 steps towards you. That is mercy. But the initial effort, initial desire has to come from the jiva. So we have to take one step, and Krishna will take 10 steps towards us. One time there was this person lying on the beach, and he was looking at the clouds. He decided he wanted to have a conversation with the Lord. He was asking God, what is like a million years? God responds, in my frame of reference, million years is like 1 minute. Then he asks, so what is like $1 million? God responds, 1 penny. So this person asks, can I have a penny? The Lord says, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. So the Lord understands. You cannot try to trick the Lord. The Lord understands the intent and reciprocates accordingly. If you are sincere, Krishna gives the intelligence. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. Buddhi, he gives the intelligence by which we can go to him. What kind of intelligence? The intelligence to understand him. Now, we saw Krishna reciprocates accordingly, right? If we go to Krishna, Krishna, give me the intelligence to prove that you don't exist. I want to do a thesis to prove that God doesn't exist. Then he will give you the intelligence, that intelligence. It depends on what kind of intelligence we are asking him, we are striving for. There is this relationship between knowledge and love. So so Krishna gives the knowledge or the intelligence to love him. Another story, I'm going to share a lot of stories, small stories. Is that okay? So the story, one time this person was walking on the sand, and he steps on something. He realizes it is a ring. He thinks it is the artificial jewelry. Must be worth $10. Must be worth $10. And he puts it in his pocket and walks away. He reaches home and gets back to his normal routine. After a week, his friend visits him. He looks at the ring and says, this is gold ring. It could easily be $500 worth. Then this person becomes so happy. Wow, this is a golden ring. Then few weeks pass, then his uncle comes. This uncle is a jeweler. And he looks at the ring and he says, this is a diamond ring. The stone on the ring is a diamond. It could easily be $50,000. Now this person couldn't believe. He was overwhelmed. What? Is this $50,000? The uncle says, I'm ready to pay you $40,000 right now. Then he becomes jubilant. He was elated. Then he realized, okay, this ring is very valuable. His attraction, his appreciation for the ring grew high. Likewise, if we understand the value of Bhakti, value of the Supreme Lord, the position of the Supreme Lord, if we have that knowledge, that intelligence, our love for Him increases. Our love for Him increases. Act like everything depends on you and pray like everything depends on God. Ananyaschintayanto mam ye jana pariupasate tesham nityabhuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. What does it mean? What does Krishna say? I preserve what you have and carry what you lack. That is the relationship between endeavor and mercy, our efforts and Krishna's mercy. He preserves what we have and carries what we lack. So we have to act like everything depends on us and pray like everything depends on God. We cannot become pure devotees without becoming devotees. Ultimately, we need to have a selfless relationship with God. But how do we get there? For that, we need to start with the relationship, right? Do you all agree? We want to get to a selfless relationship state. To start with, we have to have some relationship. Krishna says, right? Chaturvida bhajante mam jana sukritano arjuna arto jignashur artarti jnanicha bharatar sabha. 4 types of people come to me. Who are those 4? Can you name? Who are those 4? One who is in distress. Second one who is curious. Hey, people say that this Maha Mantra is very potent. I want to just chant it and test the power of the mantra. I'm curious. Then what is the third one? Yes, give and take. Who goes to Krishna for wealth? Krishna, I want to become a millionaire. I want to come to the temple daily and pray so that I become a millionaire one day. And what is the fourth? Who is the fourth one? One who wants to understand the absolute truth. Who wants to understand Krishna and goes to Him for that. Now, we don't want to stay at the level where we go to Krishna for material benefits. Krishna, I want money. Krishna, I want to be cured of my disease. If we do that, then what happens? So if we go to Krishna only for help, only during challenging times, only during tribulations, what happens? Let's say I'm going through a disease. I go to Krishna and pray, my dear Lord, please cure me of my disease. And then after 2 months I'm cured. Will I remember Krishna after that? Maybe for another 2 months. But after that, what happens? Once I go to my routine, trouble-free phase of my life, will I remember Krishna? No. We will forget. What about if you are praying to Krishna, if you are developing the attraction to Krishna based on your emotion, only your emotion. Okay, today I am coming to the temple. Somebody says, Prabhu, you look so handsome. Your tilak is so straight and nice, perfect. Your kurta is so nice. Then suddenly you feel, wow, I'm so happy. You look at all the devotees, wow, today I'm feeling so happy. Suddenly I'm developing this love. The Lord is looking so beautiful on the altar. How come I am feeling like that? Maybe I am advancing. I am becoming a pure devotee. That is why I am feeling so good. Now next week, you are wearing even nicer clothes. Perfect tilak. You go to the temple. Some event is going on. Everybody is busy. Nobody pays attention to you. Nobody pays attention to you. At that time, a new devotee comes, young devotee. Everybody is glorifying him. Prabhu, you look so good. Your kurta, amazing. Your hairstyle is so amazing. And then you think about your hair. So you feel miserable in your heart. How come nobody is paying attention to me? You go in front of the altar. The lordships are decorated so beautifully, but inside you feel miserable. That is based on only emotion. If your bhakti is based only on emotion, it will go up and down. So, what should the bhakti be based on? Conviction. Conviction based on scriptures. That Krishna is the supreme shelter, the supreme object of love. Only that conviction will turn into attraction, which will turn into absorption. So, bhakti should not be based on tribulations or emotions. It should be based on conviction, so that conviction will turn into attraction, which will turn into absorption. Absorption. So the point here is, we have to start somewhere. We have to have a relationship which eventually should end in a selfless relationship. Krishna's presence is far more enriching than his presence. Words of His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. Krishna's presence is far more enriching than his presence. Now, this reciprocation, right? Our endeavor in Krishna's mercy, this is happening. We have to properly understand that, because Krishna sees the future and plans our present. He is our ultimate well-wisher. We cannot think that Krishna is going to only take care of my physical, the material, the emotional needs. He is also looking at our ultimate well-being, which is our spiritual happiness, our ultimate goal. Another story is coming. One time there was a Brahmana. Please pay close attention. A Brahmana was praying fervently to the Lord. With so much passion and love, he was praying. The Lord appears. The Lord appears. The Lord says, the Lord also takes the form of a Brahmana, another Brahmana, and he tells him, just walk with me. They go, they keep going. They see a rich man who was, some event was happening. He was giving feast to a lot of people. So the Lord and this Brahmana, the Lord also disguised as a Brahmana, they were wearing very torn clothes, very dirty clothes. So they were asking this rich man for food. We are hungry, please give us some food. The rich man yelled at his watchman, why did you let these two people in? They are so poor, chase them out. So the Lord and the Brahmana go away. On the way, the Lord tells this other Brahmana, I am going to give this wealthy person, this rich person, a blessing. I am going to give him a blessing that his wealth increases more. Hearing that, this person, the Brahmana who was walking with him, was shocked. Lord, he didn't even feed us, didn't even feed you. You are blessing him with more wealth. They keep going. They see another sage. They see a sage. The Lord and this Brahmana tell the same thing. We are hungry. Can you please give us something? The sage says, I have only one roti. I'm going to cut it into half. I'll give it to you. And I'll keep the other half. Then please also come to my home. I have a cow and I can give you milk, nice milk. So he feeds the Lord and this other Brahmana. They live happily. Then on the way back, the Lord says, I'm going to give this person a blessing. The blessing is, let his cow be stolen tonight. Let his cow be stolen tonight. So this Brahmana was confused. What is going on here, Lord? This person served us so nicely. You're blessing, actually it's a curse. You're saying that his cow be lost. What is going on? So the Lord says, the first person, he did a lot of pious activity. He has good karma. That's why he's enjoying the benefits in this life. Let it continue. But because of his misdeeds, he's going to suffer in the next birth. So let him enjoy till he exhausts the good karma. He still has some good karma left. That's why he's going to become more wealthy. Whereas the other person, the sage, he was sincerely practicing devotional service. He is coming closer to me. I don't want him to be or to get too attached to the cow in the last stage of his life and then having to come back and take birth again. I want him to come back to me. So that is a proper way of understanding. So we never know. We never know Krishna's plan. What is good and what is not good. We see it superficially and say, why is God doing this to me? But Krishna has a plan. What is the second letter? H. What is? Can anybody? Humility. Exactly. Tribanga Gopal Prabhu. Humility. Very important quality. Humility is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. So, oftentimes, humility is misunderstood to be timidity or meekness. Somebody is very weak. But actually, it is the opposite, right? Humble people make great leaders. Why? Why do you think? Any guesses? Because they are so confident. They are so comfortable in who they are. They are not threatened by others' growth. They don't feel insecure in their heart. They are very comfortable appreciating others. They easily recognize talents and glorify others. Thinking of yourself less, right? So what do? They don't think much of themselves. They focus on others. The focus shifts from them to others. They think about God. They don't have the anxiety of being honored by others. It's not like, okay, somebody is calling me Prabhu. Okay, I am the Prabhu, I am the master, everybody is a servant. No. One time, one devotee went to Srila Prabhupada and he tells, Srila Prabhupada, I am the most fallen. I am so insignificant. I am the most fallen. Srila Prabhupada replies, you're not the most of anything. You're not the most anything. So it's not like I'm the most fallen. Again, the focus is on me, right? That is called deflated ego. The other one is thinking great about myself is inflated ego. This is deflated ego. The focus is still on me. That is not what humility is about. Humility transforms a protest against God into a prayer to God. Kurukshetra war, Arjuna, what was he doing? The Lord was telling him to fight. He was protesting. He was protesting initially, but over some time, because Arjuna is a pure devotee, he has been practicing devotional service, so he becomes humble. So the protest turns into prayer to the Supreme Lord. He says, my dear Lord, you are my spiritual master. My plans are finite, your plans are infinite. Your plans are infinite. So you please tell me what to do. So turning the protest into prayer through humility. I just want to share another story which we can all relate to. One time there was this husband and wife. They come back from work. The wife asks the husband, do you remember what day is today? What day is it today? The husband is wondering. Do you remember? Yeah, it is Tuesday. No, what Tuesday is this? It is Taco Tuesday. In Texas, we have Taco Tuesday. I ate a taco at office. The wife again asks, don't you remember what day is today? It is our anniversary. The husband is shocked. Oh, I forgot. Wow. Then he tries to kind of justify it. I was so busy at work today. I had back-to-back meetings. I had to do a very important presentation, so that I had completely forgotten that. The conversation continues. The wife is like, How come you remember the birthdays and anniversaries of your friends, even the friends you went to high school? The husband goes like, because they're all on Facebook, whether I like it or not, the message automatically pops up, and I don't have a choice but to wish them. But you're not friends with me on Facebook. I sent you a friend request, you rejected it. The argument continues. It turns into a heated discussion. The husband was like, remember one day we were fasting and I was so hungry. You made dosa and then you made chutney. The chutney was too salty. I couldn't eat. The wife was thinking, is that why you forgot the anniversary? So the point here is you're wasting your emotions and you're wasting your intelligence trying to justify that. You're wasting your emotions in the protest all along. And you're trying to find reasons, using your intelligence to dig into reasons to justify that protest. But instead, the husband should have taken a humble position, should have accepted his mistake, and should have told his wife, I will take you to this jewelry store. I will buy you some nice sweets and jewels and everything. But instead of that, he continued the argument. So humility turns protest into prayer. Humility is about being truthful, grateful, and joyful. Krishna says, right? Buddhir buddhimatam asmi, tejas tejas vinamaham. What does it mean? I am the intelligence of the intelligent, strength of the strong. Krishna, everything is coming from you. His Grace Amarendra Prabhu would say, when somebody tells him, Prabhu, your singing, your kirtan is so amazing, he would say, the vocal cord is given by the Lord. I didn't make it. The music, the swars are coming from the Lord. Sarigama Padanisa. All I am doing is just pushing air through the microphone. How can I get the credit? So the ability is coming from the Supreme Lord. We just have to understand the truth and be honest about it. I don't have anything to take credit. And be grateful. We are connected to the powerhouse of happiness. So let us be joyful. Krishna is the powerhouse. The bulb cannot take the credit. The power is coming from the powerhouse. So let us be happy about it. Let us sing together. Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi saishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sada hari. So, Shikshashtakam, what does this verse mean? Can anybody share? We should be humbler than a blade of grass. Because what does the grass do? Anybody can step on it. Is it offended? No. It just comes back like that and continues to do its service. What is the second part? Tarorapi sahishnuna. One should be tolerant than a tree. One should be tolerant than a tree. Doesn't matter whether you throw stones at the tree, it gives you back the fruits. You cut the tree, it is not angry with the cutter. It still gives you flowers, shade, everything. One short story again. To stress the importance of humility, what it means to be humble. One time there was this practitioner, new devotee. He was traveling from Bengal to Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, he sees a sage. My dear Guruji, I've been practicing Bhakti for the last 3 years. I feel like I'm in a position to take initiation. So please give me Diksha. This sage, the Guru, responds, okay, I can give you Diksha, but come to me after 7 days. Please pay attention. He says, come to me after 7 days. In the 7 days, You have to find somebody who is the most inferior person or living entity, and then come to me. So this devotee thinks, oh, that is easy. That is an easy task. I am a pure devotee. I am getting ready for initiation. So there are so many people who don't even know the difference between body and soul. They don't understand we are not the body. We are spirit souls. They don't know that. So I am advanced. So I will be able to find somebody inferior. First day, second day, by the mercy of Guru, he gets a realization. He starts seeing his own faults. Then he realizes, everybody must be advanced. Even though they may not be devotees, still they must be advanced because I have so many faults. Again, by the mercy of Guru Kripa, he understands, he gets that realization. Then he starts thinking about the animals. What about the animals? Maybe animals are inferior. Then he realizes animals are so loving. Even if you give the same food every day, they eat. They don't complain. They don't argue. And they are so loyal. So definitely animals are superior than me. Animals must be superior. Then he starts thinking about the plants and trees. He remembers this verse, Trinadapi Sunichena. So then they are superior. Trees and plants, grass, everything is superior to me. So then he gets frustrated. It is day 6. On day 7, he is supposed to get Diksha. Day 6. He is annoyed and he goes to the fields to do his morning routine, call of nature. He passes, sorry, this will be a little graphic. He passes and he looks at his stool. He thinks, oh, this is disgusting. This must be the most inferior. That's when he gets the realization, oh, this disgusting substance was prasad before it came in contact with me. Because it came in contact with me, it turned into this disgusting substance. So that is superior to me. Then he sees a worm in the stool. He thinks, oh, that must be the most disgusting. I found the answer. And then within a few minutes, he gets the realization, by Guru's mercy again, that this worm is converting this disgusting material into nutritious substance which goes back to the earth. So that is doing an amazing service. So then he realizes, I am the most inferior. So he goes to the Guru actually disappointed. Guruji, I couldn't find anybody inferior to me. Then Guru says, okay, now you are fully realized and you are ready for initiation. Then he gives the Diksha. So that is true humility. Let us move to the third letter, A. Any guesses? Rajkoti Prabhu, you have association, that is good. But remember, the first 3 letters indicate our relationship with the Supreme Lord. So bidirectional, humility, and then A is something to do with Krishna. Austerity is a good answer. But this one is attachment to Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam says, if you are lazy without performing any activities, you are useless. If you are performing activities, but they are not aligned with Dharma, then you are useless. That activity is useless. If you are performing dharmic activities, but they are not resulting in detachment, then that is useless. And what is the highest? If you are cultivating detachment, but if it is not resulting in attachment to Krishna, then that is useless. So attachment to Krishna is the highest. An example, if you are eating, if you are honoring prasadam, what are the 2 things that happen after you are done? What are the 2 things that happen after eating prasadam? At least for most people. You get nourished, you get the strength, and then you develop detachment for prasadam, at least for some time. You feel full. When your stomach is so full, what happens? If you've already eaten like 10 gulab jamuns and you're so full, if somebody gives you the 11th one, you will say, no, no, no. I mean, I'm an exception. I will keep on eating. Even after eating, I don't have that detachment. Likewise, performing devotional service leads to attachment to Krishna and detachment to material objects. Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam. Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam. What does this mean? Anybody knows? We should do things. How do we develop attachment to Krishna? We should do things that are favorable for devotional service. And don't do things that are not favorable. As practitioners of Bhakti in the beginning stage, there are the do's and don'ts. Do's and don'ts. Just like, let's say if you are a diabetes patient, if you go to the doctor is going to give you a list of do's and don'ts. What are the do's? You should do exercise regularly, at least for 30 minutes. Is the doctor going to say, okay, you do the exercise, but you can carry on eating sweets. You can easily eat 10 sweets every day. Is the doctor going to say that? No. Don'ts. So there are do's and don'ts. So likewise, in Bhakti, there are do's and don'ts. No meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling. Those are the don'ts. What are the do's? A, B, C, D. Association, book reading, chanting, and prasadam, dieting on prasadam. So there are do's and don'ts. Anukulyasya sankalpa, pratikulyasya varjanam. Krishna says in Gita, Maya sakta mana partha. Arjuna, fix your mind upon me. Srila Rupa Goswami says, just like when a young boy sees a girl, the attraction naturally comes out. Likewise, when a girl sees a boy, the attraction happens. You don't need to go to a university to develop that attraction. It automatically happens. Just like a river goes to the sea, flows to the sea, the attraction to Krishna, to Radha Gopinath should be spontaneous like that. Should be spontaneous like that. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adokshaje ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. Paro dharma, supreme dharma. What is the supreme dharma? Is to develop that unmotivated, uninterrupted bhakti towards Krishna. Christians go to church. What do they pray for? They pray for bread. My dear Lord, please give me my bread. You are attached to the bread, not to the Lord. You are attached to the bread. Bhakti should be unmotivated, uninterrupted. People go, my dear Lord, I am working in a company. I am getting 100K. I want to get to like 250K. I want to have a bank balance of $1 million. Then I'll come back to you. Is that real bhakti? Is that real attachment to Krishna? No, that is not real attachment. That is wrong attachment. A story about wrong attachment. One time, there was a young man. He stole something from a shop. He shoplifted, and a group of people were chasing him. Group of people were chasing him. There is this Jamindar of the village. He is looking at this from far away. Standing at the doorstep of his house, he was looking at this. He didn't know who the person was. He was thinking, this person should be punished. He should be handed over to the police and he should be put in jail. Then slowly, he saw this boy or this young man was running towards his home. Then he realizes, that is my son. Then his stance changes. Oh, after all, he must have stolen something small. This is probably his first time. So I'm going to let him in and I'm going to close the door. So think about it. Because of the wrong attachment, even though you know stealing is not good, he needs to be given at least some punishment. Because of the wrong attachment, he didn't want to do the right activity. So wrong attachment is not good. We should have the right attachment. Yena tena prakarane manakrishne nivesayat sarve vidhi nisedasyor yatayor eva kinkara. This nectar of devotion verse says, somehow or the other, bring your mind to Krishna. Everything else follows automatically. Bring your mind to Krishna, develop bhakti, then all the good qualities will follow you. If you become a devotee, then you will eventually become a good person also. All the good qualities, honesty, compassion, humility, everything comes, everything follows. Just like how when a king follows, the servants follow him, right? Servants follow him. Beautiful verse in Gita, right? I don't know how many of you remember this verse. Vishaya vini vartante niraharasya dehinam rasavarjam rasopyasya param drashva nivartate. When you develop that higher taste, all the lower tastes go away. Your hankering for material objects, your envious feeling towards others, your hatred, everything will go. Because you get the higher taste, and the lower, the harmful tendencies in your heart will disappear. Develop attachment to chanting. How do you develop attachment to Krishna? Develop attachment to chanting. Haridas Thakur, the Namacharya, how many rounds he would chant every day? 192 rounds. How many names of Krishna is that? Roughly 300,000 names of Krishna. 300,000 names of Krishna he would chant. How many hours he would chant for? 23 and a half. 23 and a half. 30 minutes he would keep for everything else. Taking bath and having prasad. He would chant for 23 and a half hours. When he was beaten and they were threatening, the soldiers were threatening to cut him into pieces, what did he say? He said, doesn't matter, cut me into pieces, still I will chant. The attachment for chanting. Deity worship, we come to the temple, we see the beautiful deities. We want the deities to see us. Our behavior should be in such a way that the deities are wanting to see us. Vaishnava association, we should serve the devotees. We should be attached to service, not a particular service. We should be attached to doing all kinds of services to devotees. We should hear Srimad Bhagavatam. That is the way, these are the ways to develop attachment to Krishna. Ramaji Prabhu, I have another 7-10 minutes. We have 3 more letters to cover. K. These pertain to how we want to have a relationship with the material world, with all the other living entities. What does K stand for? We should be kind. We should be kind. Kindness to all living entities. We cannot say, I love God, but I hate all the other people. I come to inside the temple. The deities are so beautiful. I'm having this love for Krishna, and you look at another devotee. Oh, I hate this devotee. He always criticizes me, or he always says something wrong. I hate this devotee, or he sings better, he's a better kirtaniya, so I hate him. It cannot be like that. You cannot say, I love God, but I hate all his children. No. We say, right, param drishtva nivartate. The higher taste, and the lower taste will go away, which means you become a better person, which means you start loving everybody. Popular verse, Vidya Vinaya Sampane, Brahmane Gavi Hastini, Suni Chaiva Swapakecha, Pandita Samadarshanaha. Samadarshanam, advanced devotee who is very learned in knowledge, he will see everything, everybody equally. Doesn't matter whether somebody is a Brahmana, somebody is a meat eater, somebody, whether it is a cow or a donkey or any other animal, he sees everybody equally. He does not discriminate. If you think about it, what is the reason for discrimination? We think we are better. The core of it is sense gratification. The core of it is sense gratification. We discriminate based on color. This person is of so and so color. It's not pleasing to my eyes. It is all about our senses. This person glorifies me. Here, you're hearing that, right? So I like him. This person does not glorify me, so I hate him. It is again all about what is pleasing your senses. This person cooks nice prasadam. I eat tasty food, so I like him. He's favorable to me. He's my favorite. This person, his prasadam is not that good, so you discriminate. So imagine there is a lot of discrimination happening because of the color, right? Color of the skin. Imagine if you are blind, will you discriminate that person? You can't even see what color they are, right? So it is all again all about our senses. But pure devotees, they see everybody with equal vision. A devotee is friendly to every living entity. Nirvaira sarva bhuteshu. Nirvaira sarva bhuteshu. They are friendly. There is no enemy for a devotee. It's not like the devotees think, okay, now I've got to know the difference between body and soul. I know the process to escape this material world, to overcome the problems. I'm going to keep it a secret. Krishna says, this is Raja Vidya, Raja Guyam. This is the most confidential knowledge. So I'm going to keep it to myself. A devotee does not say that. Devotee is a well-wisher for every living entity. Para dukkha dukhi. If somebody is feeling sad or going through a problem, the devotee thinks it is my problem. I will do whatever it takes to help that person. Sarve jana sukhino bhavantu. Everybody should be happy. Everybody should be happy. That's how the devotee thinks. Srila Prabhupada built a house in which the whole world can live. Srila Prabhupada is the ultimate example of para dukkha dukhi. Otherwise, why would he come? At the ripe age of 69, he came here going through 2 heart attacks in the ship. And after reaching Boston, after coming to America, he didn't go and see a cardiologist. He started his preaching activity. He traveled around the globe. How many times? 14 times. How many temples he established during his time? 108 temples. How many letters he wrote to his devotees, disciples? 7,000 letters. How many verses of Bhagavatam he translated and wrote purports? 18,000. How many volumes of Chaitanya Charitamrita he translated and wrote purports? 17 volumes. How many verses of Bhagavad Gita? 700 verses. How many books got published? 147 books. So why should he do all this? Why did he do all this at the age of 69? He could have nicely retired in Vrindavan. He could have had a peaceful life without going through all this trouble the next 11 years. He is para dukkha dukhi. A devotee is kind to all living entities, no discrimination. What does T stand for? T is transcend the material world. Whether the spotlight is on you or you are in a tight spot, listen carefully. Whether the spotlight is on you or you are in a tight spot, you should treat the situation equally. You should not be infatuated by the sweetness of respect, or you should not be devastated by the bitterness of insult. You should not be infatuated by the sweetness of respect, or insulted or devastated by the bitterness of insult. You should transcend the material world. The Lord says, Sarvanyanam plavenaiva. You can be the most abominable sinner. Sarvebhya papa krittama. You can be the most abominable sinner. But if you are situated, if you have the transcendental knowledge, you can cross over this ocean of material existence. Everybody repeat after me. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Krishna is transcendental. What does Chit mean? Sachidananda. Such is eternal. Chit, full of knowledge. And who are we? We are part and parcel of Krishna. Mamai Vamso Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. My dear Jivas, you are part and parcel of me. So we should also have that knowledge. The transcendental knowledge is coming. We should have the knowledge to transcend the material world because we are a part of Krishna. But instead, why are we going through the threefold miseries? Because of our ignorance. What are the threefold of miseries? Yes, Adi Bhautik, Adi Atmik, and Adi Devik. Problems caused by our own mind, problems caused by other living entities, problems caused by nature. Mark Twain, he says, 90% of the things that we worry about don't even occur in our life. Think about it. We think about so many things, the problems caused by the mind. 90% of the things don't even occur. What are the sources of misery? So these miseries are there, but why are they affecting us? How do we transcend them? Because of our attachment of our senses to the material objects. Yehi samsparsha jaboga dukkha yonaya yevate adi antavanta kaunteya na teshu ramate buddha. The intelligent people don't delight in the pleasure that is coming from the senses. Senses attraction towards the material objects. Why? Why? Adi antavanta kaunteya. What does it mean? Adi. What is Adi? Beginning. Antam. End. The material pleasures have a beginning and an end. They are very temporary. So the wise people, the intelligent people don't take pleasure in enjoying the material objects. We should catch the helicopter of devotional service. If you are in the road, the cars are controlled by the signals. Red, yellow and green. To use as an example, they are like the three modes of nature. Or you can think about the three problems, three types of problems, Adi Daivika, Adi Atmika and Adi Bhautika. But if you are in the helicopter, you won't be hindered by the three modes or the three types of problems. So we have to catch the helicopter of devotional service. We have to deal with the life's dualities with equanimity. Doesn't matter whether it is honor or dishonor, success or failure, we have to treat equally. Another quick example. One time this person, he came to know that he is going to get like $5 billion as an inheritance from one of his ancestors. And he was walking towards the ancestor's home. On the way, he sees a $5 bill on the road and he tries to go and grab it. It flies away and he runs behind it, it goes farther. Let's say this person, that is one scenario, let us say this person has $5 bill in his pocket. Somebody comes to rob that. A thief grabs that and he's fighting with the thief. He's arguing, give it to me. Does it make any sense? He is going to be delayed because he is supposed to go by noon to get the $5 billion. Otherwise, it will go to the government, the inheritance. Is he going to waste his time over the $5 bill? Gaining the $5 bill is like the pleasure of this world, and losing the $5 bill is like the pain of this world. Your focus should be on the $5 billion, which is the absorption in Krishna. The absorption in Krishna. Okay, the last letter here, I. Independence. Dependence on Krishna. The real independence means dependence on Krishna. We think, I don't want anybody to control me. I'm independent. Are we really independent? We think, okay, I can reject God. But what are we doing really? We are embracing the material conception of life, and we are becoming dependent on our body and material objects. Body and material objects, right? But only at a point when we find that the body is so weak after we become like 60, 65, we realize that's when we think, is there anything beyond the body? Is body the ultimate thing, or is there anything beyond the body? Then you realize, okay, I wasted all my life thinking about the body. It's not worth. It's not worth. All glory originates and culminates in Krishna. If we think all glories originate and culminate in me, then we are fools. When the time comes, when the glory is taken away from you, then you will feel miserable. Instead, if we think, Krishna says, right, Mama Tejomsa Sambhavam. Everything is a spark of my splendor. Haridaswarya Prabhu, last week he spoke about that. Mama Tejomsa Sambhavam. Everything is a spark of my splendor. If you understand, all glory is part of Krishna. Krishna will give and he will take. If you see the glory in others, if somebody is singing nicely, giving better lectures than you, you don't feel jealous. You understand that is also a spark of Krishna's splendor. So you will remember Krishna. You will put your heart on Krishna, not on envy. Not on envy. Applause to absorption. We are always hankering for applause, right? Especially with the advent of social media, the focus is on getting the number of followers, number of likes, right? And we try to compare posts and all. Even if we don't go on vacation, we will take pictures from somewhere and post it just for the likes. Just for the likes, don't we do? We compare. So if we are relying on applause, what happens is, let's say you are a wonderful singer, but maybe people are like appreciating you and you enjoy that glory. After a while, after you become like 55, 60, 65, your voice is not that appealing anymore. And let's say the better singers come to the temple and they get the glorification. How will you feel? You will feel miserable. You will feel miserable. But instead, you change that to absorption. How can we be absorbed? If we do something we like, and if we do it for somebody who will never disappoint us, right? Imagine doing something that you like the most, whether it is work or a hobby. You will be fully absorbed in it. You will be so absorbed that whether I get the recognition or not, you will find joy in doing it. So do something that you like, and do it for who? Imagine you are working so hard day and night, and you are working for a boss who hates you. Will you like doing that work? Will you enjoy it? No. But we are doing for the ultimate boss, who is Krishna, who loves us the most. So doing things for Krishna, serving Krishna, keeping Krishna in the center, that is the only way to be fully absorbed. Fully absorbed. Real independence is not depending on matter, but depending on Krishna, depending upon Krishna's mercy. That is the real independence. Whatever we do, yat karoshi yadasnasi, yat juhoshi dadosi yat tapasyasi konteya tat kurushva madarpanam. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever austerity you perform, whatever charity you give, do it as an offering to me. That is real independence. So, on this day, auspicious day of Diwali, let us think about this acronym Bhakti, bidirectional humility, attachment to Krishna, transcend the material world, be kind to all living entities, independence, which is dependence on Krishna. Let us develop that mood of Bhakti so that we are ready to welcome Krishna, Sri Ram, into the Ayodhya of our hearts and follow the footsteps of Giriraj Govardhan, being a selfless devotee, and bind Krishna just like Mother Yashoda. This month we are celebrating Kartik, right? Just like how Mother Yashoda bound Krishna, we will bound Krishna in our hearts. So wish you all a very happy Diwali and a beautiful Govardhan Puja celebration. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Gopal Chandra Prabhu. I will never forget the acronym Bhakti, how you explained it today. So, very grateful for sharing your realizations and wisdoms along with our Guru Paramparas. Thank you all. Let's give a big round of applause to Gopal Chandra Prabhu.